I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. A Palm Coast teen faces first-degree murder charges in the death of another teen. John Arking reports.
The Flagler County Sheriff's Office charged 16-year-old Benjamin Shawn Allen with first-degree murder in the death of 17-year-old Elijah Rizvan. He was killed in the street in front of a home on Westford Lane just before 8:30 Friday night. Witnesses told police Rizvan had set up a drug deal on Snapchat to sell marijuana to someone, but didn't know he was actually being set up to be robbed. A gray sedan pulled up to the residence, and two black males exited the vehicle, grabbed Rizvan by his arms, and one of them shot him in the chest. The males then got back in the car, and it sped off. Detectives were able to utilize the Snapchat name to locate a gray Ford Focus at a home in Island Estates. Video surveillance from the area of the crime showed a vehicle matching the Ford Focus in the area just 2 minutes before the murder, and then speeding away minutes later. 3 witnesses were interviewed extensively by detectives, and each independently told law enforcement that they were with the suspect during the incident and that the shooter was known as Ben. Detectives determined that Ben was actually Benjamin Shawn Allen, who they then brought in for questioning along with his mother and stepfather. While he admitted to being in the vehicle with the 3 witnesses, he refused to say anything more and asked for an attorney. Detectives then obtained an arrest warrant and arrested him early Sunday morning. A search warrant carried out on his residence turned up the sneakers, hoodie, and jeans that he's believed to have been wearing at the time of the homicide. Police say the investigation's ongoing and additional charges are likely. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arking.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport, Delta Airlines nonstop to Atlanta, and now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
Sheriff Rick Staley is asking for more than $650,000 for 6 new deputies to help maintain service levels in the Palm Coast community as it continues to grow. His request, though, wasn't included in the city's initial budget proposal.
And with that comes a lot of things that are not calculated in the crime stats. Disturbance calls, those aren't included. Parking violations, car crashes, traffic fatalities down 42%, which is a great thing.
Palm Coast City Manager Matt Morton tells WNZF's Free for All Friday they support the Sheriff's Office and pay handsomely for enhanced service already.
Our council back in fiscal year 18 said, hey, we want enhanced service, and they came to the table. So we're currently paying on top of what our normal county millage would pay. We're paying $3.6 million for enhanced service here at the city. The contract provides for a 5% increase annually, so another $175,000. That is, in fact, in the budget to keep it within the terms of honoring that contract and agreeing with the Sheriff's Office.
The Sheriff will get an opportunity to make his pitch before Palm Coast City Council Tuesday. A routine traffic stop ends with a suspected drug dealer behind bars. Tony Magoo has that story.
Thursday morning, a Flagler County Sheriff's Office deputy stopped a car for speeding and no seatbelt use. The deputy smelled marijuana in the car driven by 36-year-old Derek McKay, who was asked if he had anything illegal in the vehicle or on his person, and McKay replied no. The deputy was advised by Flagler County Sheriff's Communications Center that McKay had a suspended license with 5 previous driving with suspended license convictions. Before being placed in custody at the jail, he was also found to be in possession. McKay was charged with driving with a suspended license, possession of heroin, cocaine, oxycodone, marijuana, and Molly, and all with intent to sell. He was booked at the Sheriff Perry Hall Inmate Detention Facility where he's being held without bond. McKay has previous arrests in Flagler County for a variety of drug charges dating back to 2008. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
Vice Chair of the Flagler County Commission, Dave Sullivan, is running for re-election. The District 3 Commissioner says he came into office during difficult times.
Hurricane Matthew had just ripped through the county. We then went through Irma, flooding, Sheriff's Operations Center, change in leadership at the county and the city.
But he says they're working their way through the issues.
Our new county administrator is doing a good job, and I think we have a fairly united commission, and we're trying to reach solution for many of these problems and at the same time manage the budget so that we don't increase taxes.
Sullivan is also former chair of the Flagler County Republican Executive Committee.
What does a real estate appraiser do?
Jay Gardner is a real estate appraiser in Flagler County. He says his job is to decide how much a piece of property is worth so that it can be taxed properly.
You're valuing property for the tax process, and that's what this number represents, the taxable value that the taxing authorities have to multiply by.
Gardner says he does the same thing every year. He appraises the value of the properties in Flagler County so that the cities, county, and the state will know how much money they have to spend on governmental services. You can hear the full interview on the Free for All Friday podcast. You can find that at the Flagler Radio app. Download the Flagler radio app today. Tomorrow, we'll look at what we've lost and what we've gained since the recession of 2008. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.